Today on Sense Music Media, we are hanging out with Nick from NICOLAS Cage Fighter. Nick, how are you going today?
Yeah, good, Rashid. Yeah, really good. Thanks. How are you?
I'm not too bad for a Thursday morning and looking forward to a good rest of a Thursday day if it all goes well.
Oh, yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully, same here.
Fingers crossed indeed. Now, we're hanging out today because we've got a few cool things to talk about that are going on in the Nicolas Cage Fighter camp. First and foremost, you have just released a new album, I Watched You Burn, which you dropped a couple of weeks ago on 12th of September.
Yeah, it's absolutely feels so fucking good to finally have this album out. I love it. So proud of it. And yeah, it's been an awesome first couple of weeks.
Sounds like and looks like from what I've seen online, the album is being very well received, getting a fairly decent amount of streams on the good old Spotify.
Yeah, hell yeah. I know Spotify, it's all right. It's a bit of a contentious topic at the moment, but hey, yeah, we're stoked. Between Spotify and Apple Music, at least we have actually crossed over 100,000 streams, in a little bit under the fortnight mark, which is really, really sick. So cool. Yeah, the response has been amazing. Yeah, been getting a heap of really, really good reviews and good feedback, and yeah, people at shows have been telling us that they love it. We're stoked, real thrilled.
And that's definitely the reception you really hope for when you release a baby such as this out into the world. Now,
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
with that release date of September 12th, like clearly there was some other very big things going on around the world at that time. How do you
Yes.
feel that that may have perhaps impacted or not on the release of the record?
I think it wasn't actually, it wasn't intentional or it wasn't planned. It just sort of happened. And then we realized around the time when it actually sort of clicked, we went, oh, shit. I know a couple bands have done this before and they've sort of pulled it off. I think it was, fuck, I could be wrong and I'm probably going to get burnt at the stake if I am, but I think Slayer or some very large band did release an album on September 11th. Either I'm mistaken or I've crossed my wires on something I've heard. So in a sense, we thought, well, Australian time zone, is it September 12th in our time and September 11 in American time, or is it September 12th American time? We're a little bit uncertain, but we haven't caught any backlash. But you're actually also the first person to ask about it, so I think we might be able to skate by without any controversy because it wasn't the intention. But in a sense, yeah, I think with like the theme of the album, the whole world's gone to shit, everything's fucking falling apart. Yeah, agreed. There's definitely a bit of parallel behind that, I suppose. It's a bit of like a secondary unintentional cause and effect for sure. But yeah, no, unfortunately, we had to delay the release of the album a couple of times just due to swapping between labels, time, money, getting physical media and everything made up. So I can't recall how this date was settled on, but it's, it's out now, thankfully. Long time coming.
Well, hopefully I haven't just, kicked the hornet's nest or anything for you by linking those things together. But as you said yourself, like yeah, with the themes of the album, that it is very apt. I mean, the talking points, as it were, the nihilistic, disenfranchised feelings that run through the album, like these things aren't anything, and I mean no shade by this, but nothing particularly revolutionary in the world of metal music. It's like since metal began, this has kind of been the running theme of generally how fucked up shit is because it just goes so well with crushingly brutal riffs. But again, with the state of the world today, it's again probably more relevant than ever, at least in our lifetime, for music that talks openly and honestly about these things.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you. Absolutely. It's funny as well that you say it's like a common thing that is done in metal because it not only is it's quintessential, I suppose, as far as like themes and styles go. But when we were putting together sort of what we wanted to do with this album and sort of the meaning and message behind it and the story that we kind of wanted to build. Uh, or we just wanted to do like a more traditional like death metal album from like a thematic point of view. Obviously with our own sort of flavor of influences from hardcore and metalcore and the like. But yeah, definitely it's a very just metal thing. The world is pretty shit at the moment. There's so much fucking war and genocide and batshit insanity with politics all across the world at the moment that yeah, it does feel fitting as far as timing goes with this album, definitely.
I was going back through my emails concerning you guys in lead up to this interview and doing the research, and I was reading through the presser that was put out when you released the video for "I Watched You Burn" came out, and a quote that resonated from me in that was, I believe it was you saying that this is the tale of an immortal serial killer on a dying planet coming to terms with life, death, and what it truly means to be human.
That's
Big
it,
bold,
man. That's it.
big bold statement, but yes, an immortal serial killer and means to be human almost seems like a bit of a, you know, conflict of interest there in some ways. And I was hoping you might be able to elaborate a bit more on that for me if you
Yeah,
don't mind.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, of course. So I feel like as far as like context goes in the lead to the album, the previous releases we'd done were very much to do with, like the struggles of the self, my a lot of like my own self-worth and issues and the so that was the Cast You Out EP, the idea of casting those issues out. The Bones That Grew from Pain was meant to be like a reflection on the world around me and like the how other people deal with those same sorts of issues and how things like, just anger and hate and depression and resentment and nihilism seeps into the way that people hold themselves and how the world works and feels at the moment. With I Watched You Burn, I basically took that as like a foundation for a starting point of like a fantastical like character or protagonist, not like myself specifically. Because Justin, our guitarist, had thrown out at a band prac one day that he thought that the idea of a serial killer on a dying planet would be cool. Ran with that, and I thought, well, what about an immortal serial killer? Because in the sense of this sort of story about, the world's gone to shit, it's on a dying planet. There's war and destruction and rivers of blood, and the whole world's burning and on fire. What if this character, it turns out that he's actually, like in a sense, the one who's responsible for like the death and destruction of this planet. That quote from Oppenheimer, which I think it is, I am become death, destroyer of worlds. That was like a thing that sort of stuck in the back of my head when I was writing it. And the idea, I suppose, with coming to terms with like being human and humanity and life and morality and whatnot, despite the fact that he is immortal, he's lived as like it's a very like human perspective on living through like the life and destruction of this planet as sort of ascending to this point above, I guess, like life and like living outside of or existing outside of like just what the human experience is and watching like the mother nature takes the world back for herself, new life sort of it begins to emerge again, and then he observes as like the next wave of like humanity and life comes about on this planet, and ponders and reflects and thinks, will the same things that tore the world apart as I knew it continue to affect like this sort of new manifestation of the world as it continues on. So yeah, a little bit oxymoronic definitely about, coming to terms with being human while you're immortal, but it's from like a human point of view. I've done a lot of psychedelics if you can't tell from that explanation.
Also good for your own personal research, no doubt. But yeah, it's
It
interesting that you
helps, it
then
helps a little bit.
bringing up that you have already conceptualized sort of as this next phase after this dying has continued, because I was kind of wondering if that might have been the deeper meaning behind it somewhat, that especially now that, as I said, you stated that they are potentially the cause of this unrest, of this dying of the world, that the immediate ramifications aren't going to be felt so hard by them because they're immortal. They're immune to the destruction that's happening around them. But then, what are they left with after that?
Yeah, yeah, just I suppose. Well, that's kind of like that's exactly where I wanted to leave that. I guess like it's kind of cliche, leave it on like a cheesy cliffhanger. Art is as much about like how you interpret it as like what I mean from it. I didn't really have like a concrete plan or like a point to end the album on that like specifically ends it with how like I thought it should end. I still wanted to leave it a bit ambiguous because the plan is with the next release to lean back more towards the more, I guess, like introspective and personal point of view. So I kind of wanted to leave it a bit open for myself so that way I could choose to either continue the story from, this individual's perspective as like a character in like a metaphorical sense, watching the rest of the universe and the next wave of humanity come about from that external point of view. Or if I wanted, I can sort of can that, leave it behind, and just go on with something new. So a little bit open to interpretation there.
As all great art should be, and asking questions and encouraging conversation, a debate about it, which is I guess what we're kind of doing somewhat right now.
Mission accomplished.
Now, to go from perhaps things that no one has ever put together and asked you before, I'm going to go to something that you're probably very sick of talking about, and that is
Shoot.
that is the connection with the Cage family. Now I was going, yeah, I was just snooping on Facebook to find talking points, and again just see sort of how much people have asked or this is gone. And I found a clip from 2023 from the Dan Chan show, where he was speaking with Wes Cage and trying to get you guys to be in contact with each other. Did that happen?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty confident we did actually chat to him. I'd have to go digging through the messages. From memory, we were interstate. We were on a tour when we heard from Dan. Because yeah, I'd done an interview with Dan in 2022 for sort of the release of The Bones That Grew from Pain. Um, and then yeah, in 2023, when we were on tour, we got a message from Dan saying, "Hey guys," and he just had like a little snippet of this interview that he'd done with Wes, Nick's son. Um, and they actually, yeah, they chatted about us, and that's how we originally found out that, yeah, they knew about us and that they liked us and that they thought our music was cool, that Wes had shown Nick our music. And yeah, I think we did chat to Wes on Instagram at the time, but we were on tour, so I can't recall how much we chatted. I think it was just a couple messages back and forth just to say like, hey, it's so sick that you like us and that we appreciate you like the music. Thank you. We'll try and link something up or make something happen if we travel to the States or if you're traveling and we can sort of make the stars align. And then very recently as well, yeah, that Guardian interview that came out, which yeah, just really sort of solidified that yeah, that they know about us. That the fact that like Nick knows some of our lyrics is fucking insane. That is seriously, seriously cool. I don't know how much he likes like stories about dying planets and dead children hanging from the sky, but he likes our music, and yeah, we're fucking stoked.
Yeah, he's
No
probably
lawsuits.
probably trying to work out the film rights right now. Actually, I'd imagine.
Dude, give us a cameo or a guest spot or have him like jump up on stage. I'm thinking like it's Ace Ventura where Jim Carrey's up on stage with Cannibal Corpse. If we can do that, that's what I'm all about. That's what we want.
That would be absolutely amazing. And then all the other side of it, which I was, almost somewhat expecting when you released this album, was that maybe there was going to be a Wes or possibly even a Nick cameo verse or appearance from them on the album.
We would love it. We'd love it. We were we when we found out that Nick was going to be in Australia to film that surfing movie that the name of is escaping me. Yeah, we played around with we'll reach out to him. We'll try and like get like a photo with him or do some sort of cameo or like get him on to like promote the album, but with us there in person with him. But then we around that time we were overseas. We were in Southeast Asia or in Taiwan at the time. So we didn't have it aligned then. We've thought about reaching out and like you can get people to do like cameo clips and do like shout outs. We've thought about that, but I think we want to wait until we can actually like do it in person, just make it a little bit more like real and authentic. I think not that it wouldn't be cool having like him like send some sort of clip through or get him on for the album. Um, but as well as far as getting Wes or Nick on for the album, when it came to writing and recording, we thought a lot about getting different guest features on, and it just never eventuated. We smashed through the recording process, and then all of a sudden it was done, and we went, "Oh, fuck, we had a couple of ideas that we never actually put together." So it's still in the back pocket.
Just too damn efficient.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but sometimes for the recording, at least we were.
I was wondering if you had seen the Charlie Sheen document on Netflix, aka Charlie Sheen, because there is a bit about Nicolas Cage on there as well.
Oh, true. No, I haven't. It's actually funny you bring it up though, because even not knowing that, one of my managers at work told me about that Charlie Sheen documentary. I've been meaning to watch it, but I I tell you, but their house is like half ripped apart. We're like in the middle of renovating, so all free time after work at the moment is going to pulling up carpet and peeling, ripping off paint and shit. So I haven't had a chance to get around to it. No, what's the Nick Cage segment or like
Just
about?
sort of at peak. Well, I guess you say peak Charlie Sheen, but he had he had a couple of peaks there, a lot of peaking, and
Yeah,
some of
a
that sort
lot of peeking.
of first stage major peaking seemed to be very much uh, running around with Nicolas Cage, getting up to lots of no goodness. They didn't get him on the documentary itself. So it would have been cool to,
Okay.
to hear his takes on a few things. But no, it looks like they had a lot of wild times, which also leads me to believe if Nick's still up for it, then maybe that psychedelic connection might just work out for him.
We can get Charlie Sheen together, 100%. That's so cool. Yeah, definitely got to watch it. I can only imagine the antics those two would have gotten up to. A lot of peeking, that's for sure.
Yeah, or to be a fly on the wall.
Oh
Right alongside them, chopping
yeah.
lines. Yay.
You would have seen some shit, that's for sure.
Now, Nicolas Cage conversations, as entertaining as they are aside, you've also got a couple of shows coming up, starting off with the album release show, which is on the
Yeah.
14th of November in Ballarat. Tell us a little bit about that show.
That's going to be fucking insanity. That is such a sick lineup. Look, we love playing Ballarat. I mean, it's our hometown. Every band loves playing in their hometown, of course. But we're just fucking thrilled. We can't wait. We're already in the middle of making sure that we're practicing and that we know all of our new songs together. We've got a bunch of our favorite like hardcore and up and coming hardcore bands that are around at the moment. Starve, who are just incredible. They're really blowing up, really good, just like metalcore fight music. Outsider, very similar sentiment. Yeah, they're awesome band, really, really lovely people. We've got Chapel Hill, and then fuck me, I should know this. Jesus Christ, I've got too much going on at the moment. I feel so guilty for not knowing
Top of my
everyone
head,
and
slow burn.
everything off the top of my head. Slow burn, thank you. Fuck, I was gonna say Virtues, but Virtues was the last show we had played at Volta, I think.
Yeah, Virtues are fucking sick.
Early mornings, early mornings. Yeah, Virtues are cool. They're lovely dudes. Yeah, Slow Burn, of course. Shout out to Dylan, who we did a bunch of all the production and pre-production and writing for with the album. They're just the homies. They make the toughest riffs and some really good two steps. Man, that show is going to sell out. It's going to go crazy. The last couple of times that all those bands have played in Ballarat, I don't believe Chapel Hill have played Ballarat yet, but they will they'll definitely get a good reception because we played with them at Southern Death. They were at Southern Death Fest in Adelaide real recently. They're sick, so cool, just young, energetic kids. But every other band that has played Ballarat just go off. If this doesn't sell out, I'll be fucking bewildered. I'm just going to be calling out the whole time, getting people stage diving, hanging from the ceiling, doing backflips off people's shoulders. It's going to be chaos. I cannot wait.
Definitely sounds like an amazing show to get to, if you can
Hell
get
yeah.
to it. But
Do it.
otherwise,
Do it.
you have toured a lot of Australia. Have you made it to Western Australia before?
Once. Yeah, once. The tour, which, oh fuck, we've done so much touring. It's hard to keep track of everything. It was with Xenobiotic and Zeolite. It was a split headline tour, which was 2023, I think. Might have been 2022. It's hard to keep track. I can barely remember a week ago, let alone a couple of years back. But yeah, so we've been over there once. We played in Fremantle. Can't remember the name of the venue, but it was a basically like a pub, like a little hotel with like a downstairs basement. It was such like a dingy dive bar feel, and I fuck with that so hard. It was pretty much just like a floor show in like this small little space. It was awesome. And then in Perth, we played Convenience, which is literally like a convenience store, pretty much with like this small little stage room set up, and like on at the back of the stage, there's like a little alcove with this like half open doorway where the drum kit's up the back. So you just got the drummer like up the fucking back of this venue where all you can see is like the cymbals and like a drumstick flying off occasionally in a small little stage. Um, and yeah, we met some awesome people over there and played with some really, really cool bands. Love it. Yeah, Perth is cool, and we've been talking about going back for a little while now, so we're really looking forward, yeah, to head over for Froth and Fury Fest. That's
Yeah,
going to be
that's
fucking great.
definitely where it was leading to. Your last trips to Western Australia might be a little bit hazy in the memory, but I'm sure this is one that's definitely going to stick.
Oh yeah, we're going to remember this absolutely. We were lucky enough to play Froth and Fury Fest. I think it was 2022, come to think of it, in Adelaide. Same year as Ailstorm and Void Division and Gravemind and Skeletal Remains, among many other incredible bands. That was definitely and still is one of like our standout gigs that we've ever played. Froth and Fury is awesome. Jason does a fucking incredible job of organizing and running that event. Corno and all of his team made just stage setup and sound so smooth and so easily. So we know we're going to have a really, really good experience. And yeah, we can't wait. I'm gonna be really fucking rude. Somebody just rang the doorbell. I'm just gonna run away and make sure it's nothing important. I'll be real quick. I'm so sorry.
So intermission music play.
Just the fucking Amazon package. Should have left it. Should have left it. Sorry about that.
Yeah, usually they just drop it and ditch.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Amazon driver, for making sure I was aware the package was there, but that's a first.
All the days to knock on a door.
Yeah, right. Perfect timing.
But yeah, yeah, an amazing lineup, and it's just so awesome for you know not the east coast of Australia to have such an amazing festival that instead makes the east side jealous.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's such a running joke as you see it everywhere on social media, and everything's always the East Coast. Bands will say, "Yeah, Australian tour," and it'll be Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, maybe if you're lucky, Adelaide, and then Western Australia. Every band's like, "Nah, fuck you, it's not traveling, not worth it." Uh, Not this time. Nah, it's good. A lot of tours and a lot of bands nowadays, thankfully. Not all, but a lot more are definitely heading over to the West Coast, which is good because yeah, the crowd and the scene over there is yeah, it's sick. The scene's definitely alive and well. So we're thrilled to be a part of it alongside some really fucking good bands. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely wild time. Though now to flip back because I'm in Brisbane and therefore part of the East Coast side of things. When might we see you back in Brisbane?
At this point, I think March is what sort of timeline we've got. Uh, we did want originally we were looking at doing a tour in December, but a little bit tricky for us to organize. And obviously, any tour which runs or shows and gigs that run around the Christmas and holiday period can be a little bit hit and miss just because so many people, travel, go away on holidays and whatnot. We can't really organize anything earlier than that, primarily just because of work and finances. Albums cost a shitload of money. We've got a lot of expenses that we've chewed through. So we're slowly sort of building that account back up, but there's still more expenses to come, like, flights and accommodation, for Perth, especially. Um, and then we've got a fair bit on early in the year, one of which, traveling over to Perth in January, and we've got some shit on February. A couple of things that I won't shoot my mouth off yet. Keep some surprises in there, but look, a little while away now. But early next year, you can definitely expect to see us, yeah, touring around. And I'll tell you, that's it's a fucking good lineup for that one as well. We're still putting it all together, but yeah, not too far away, and it'll be worth a wait, definitely.
Right, sweet. So yes, you've got the new album. I watched you burn out. We've got a release show in Ballarat. We've got a kick-ass festival in the form of Froth and Fury that you'll be at the Perth edition in early next year. And yeah, no doubt we are now able to look forward to catching you in more dates, more cities, more places. Most importantly, mine here in Brisbane, perhaps sometime early next year.
Hell yeah, that's it, man. Definitely.
Well, Nick, thank you so much for your time today. And yeah, hope you have a lot of fun with all of the above and more.
Thank you, Rashid. I appreciate it. Yeah, look forward to seeing you. I'll keep an eye out for you when we make our way up to Brizzy.